We made a Coffeemel 1 year ago, and how's it taste now?
All right.
So, as I said, this is our Coffeemel. It ended at a 1.032 final gravity, so it's a little bit on the sweet side, and it is 13%, and that's a hefty pour.
First off, that color is glorious.
Oh, yeah.
It's coffee in a glass. It's beautiful.
It's coffee, it's mead, it's both. It's actually nice and clear, too.
Yeah.
It looks viscous. It smells like coffee and honey.
It does.
You even get like the brighter flavors of coffee. It's not really like the dark roast coffee. It's more like a brighter, younger coffee. I'm going in. Oh boy, that matured so well. You know, Coffeemel is interesting because it can be a little harsh and astringent sometimes if you use the wrong coffee, or if you have too much coffee, or if you over-extract the coffee. There's so many ways that it can go south. I think this was a little bit more astringent when it was young.
Yeah, it does seem to have rounded out, but still kept that punch that you expect from something that's coffee flavored.
Mm-hmm.
We've been drinking White Russians, Black Russians, all the
Russians.
Russian cocktail
Kahlua
things.
stuff.
And this, I think, would work perfectly as a replacement for Kahlua. In a cocktail situation.
I think it would actually work in addition to Kahlua.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, you can pour a little Kahlua into this, and I think it'd be wonderful.
But I'm just imagining this with a cream or something.
If you add this to a glass, a little bit of milk, a little bit of vodka. Yep, you got a White Russian.
I think I did.
Actually, it's a White Viking.
It's a white. I think I did.
You did a cocktail like
this,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what you called it.
I'll link
It's a White Viking now.
my
That's
cocktail.
canon. This is
Anyway.
actually quite nice.
Yeah.
It's an experience beverage, though. It's very robust. That's the best word I can describe it as.
Absolutely.
Going off the coffee thing, robusto,
Sure. No, well, I mean, robust is a word used in lots of culinary descriptors, whether it be coffee or tea or even olive oil.
Yeah.
Something that's really packed with flavor. And I would say that's completely applicable
powerful.
in this. This is flavor to the max.
But it's not. See, that 1.032 might make a lot of people think it's overly sweet. I don't think this is overly sweet at all. There's enough acids in coffee.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And the tannic structures and things like that that really give almost a bitter flavor to coffee sometimes.
Yeah.
They are just balanced perfectly with the sweetness.
I would compare the strength of the coffee flavor to something akin to Coffeemel, where you really need that additional sweetness to balance out the heat of the capsaicin.
Yeah.
Where here you really need that sweetness to balance out the potency of the coffee. Otherwise, it's just going to taste like coffee. You're not going to get any of those honey attributes. And
Definitely am getting honey, though.
we want a balance of both, and I think we've accomplished that here.
But in the mouth, it's thick and viscous and rich and coats your entire palate. It's just, wow. On the exhale, definitely get a nice, almost chocolatey coffee. I get young coffee coming in, like a light roast, and then I'm getting a darker feel for the coffee as I exhale, which that's really nice. I like it when there's layers to everything. It tastes different in the beginning as it does at the end, and it just makes you want to go back for more.
Yeah.
Which, that's kind of the idea, By the way, I love these glasses. These are my new Glencairns. These are from North Mountain Supply. We'll have a link in the description. And they're like the perfect size. They're 5 ounces.
And so they have all the good attributes of a Glencairn.
Yep.
And I don't mean to diss Glencairns
No, I love
because
Glencairns.
they're the OG of the properly shaped
But they're now reserved for whiskey.
glass. Because they still have the tulip shape, but they don't have that extra thick bottom.
Yeah.
Which, if you're accident prone, like me and many of
I used to have about
my
20 Glencairns. I
friends,
think I have like 5.
those Glencairns with that super thick bottom and the really delicate top are really difficult to hand wash, which is the appropriate method of washing them, because they're just going to flip in your drying rack and break into a bajillion pieces.
Yeah, these don't tend to do that.
Will not do that.
Back to the mead. There is such a lovely coffee quality to this. Derek is not the hugest coffee fan, but she does drink it now. But the coffee quality to me, like I like my coffees, and I like to make coffee. I like to roast coffee. I like to do all that stuff. I think the quality of the coffee here is coming through really nicely. It comes across as a very well brewed cup of coffee with honey added and a little bit of ethanol to just kick it up a notch. It's like Irish coffee in a glass.
Are going to be really irritated with me with this comparison, but to me, the experience of this is akin to an experience of a very nice whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Or a really nice cigar, even. And I know those things are compared because of their complexity and their richness. And I'm getting complexity and richness from this. And that's where my brain is going, okay, if you like those type of things and you like coffee, then I think you would really enjoy this.
It has a coffee liqueur kind of quality to it, which is what you were getting at before. The more I'm drinking it, the more I'm really feeling that. It has that thick, viscous thing going on with all the flavors coming through, but it's more than just a mead. It definitely, this is one of those meads that when I say mead and wine are very similar, this is nothing like any wine I've ever had.
That's right. The original Coffeemel that we did inspired me to do a whole series of cocktails. And there's going to be more of those cocktails in my life.
Yeah, because this can inspire a whole new set. This is
good stuff.
If you liked our last Coffeemel, you'll love this. This is far superior, I think. And that's the beauty of homebrewing is every time you do something, you learn a little bit, get a little bit better. We've been doing this for a while, and we still learn all the time. Still make some mistakes.
That color is gorgeous. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna.
It's all right. I cut you off all the time.
All the senses. It's filling all the check marks. You're just going through the list. Really is. It's like beautiful.
Now, being that this is the one-year tasting, we don't really know what we said at the original tasting or even really remember everything about this. I know it was cold brew, probably, because that's usually how I do Coffeemel. But right here, I'm going to show you what we thought of it last year. It's balanced. It's really nicely balanced. It's interesting. That aroma will throw you. You'll think this is going to be bitter and astringent and strong, but it's not at all. It actually...
Yeah. The one thing that strikes me right up from the front, the beginning of the tasting, is how the honey notes and the coffee notes are equal in dignity.
Do you have a number?
I do.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 8.
6.5.
And now we're back to present day.
So you know what we thought, but we don't know what we thought because we're not you. You're you. We're us.
Sure. Anyway, it's time to start thinking of numbers. You probably know this already, but if you're a first-timer here, let me explain it for you. Our numbering system goes 1 through 10, with 11 being reserved for those things that are just amazing. Now, 1 through, 4.5 probably isn't all that good. We probably wouldn't keep it. We might even dump it out. 5 to 7 or so is considered good. That's a nice beverage. I might just reach for it on its own. Might not think to go for it, but I would drink it if it was offered, or if I saw it, I might go, hey, yeah, I'll have that. 7.5 and up is great to amazing.
Yep.
So with that in mind, do you have a number? This is the hardest part.
This is the hardest part. And numbers are not my friend, but then I also know whatever number I put on that, somebody out there is going to question the crap out of that. Why did she give you that number?
That's really not fair.
But it's true.
Everybody has their opinion.
It's totally true.
Everybody has their opinion. We don't really get questioned on our scores.
You know?
No. Oh. No. People ask when the numbers have gone down if it means that the brew got worse.
Oh.
And that's not necessarily accurate to say because, first, we don't know what we gave it last time. And second, palates change over time. So
Absolutely.
We may have liked it better a year ago than we do now, or we're being more picky now than we were a year ago, or vice versa.
And we are right on the heels of some food tastings, so our palate...
Yep. What you ate in the last couple hours can have a lot of effect. We had a spicy sausage.
Spicy sausage and Coffeemel
Actually goes well.
Pair lovely.
I'm thinking a Coffeemel Capsicumel could probably be in the future because
I would have never thought that, but now you're saying that.
It actually, I'm liking this.
Spicy coffee.
But anyway, spicy coffee is a thing.
Spicy chocolate would be really nice too.
Spicy chocolate. Ooh, chocolate Capsicumel.
Yeah.
Okay, but
like a Mexican hot chocolate.
Yeah, but we have to put a score on this Mead.
Okay.
All right.
Focus.
I think I have a score. It's not what I expected.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 9. I figured she was going to be a little lower. Coffee's not really her thing.
It is not my thing, but this is like a gateway.
It's a gateway drug.
I didn't want to say the D word, but you did it for me.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, I'm a fan of cocktails. I love cocktails. I love being the mad scientist and mixing random stuff and going, oh, that's good, or oh, that's bad. I'm glad I only made a small bit, so I'll drink it and then make something different.
I would like to point something out before you go any further. I make cocktails too. A glass and a beverage. 2 ingredients, cocktail. Anyway.
So for me, this is like this glorious, rich, indulgent base for me to add stuff to.
It'll also get you schnockered at 13%.
Certainly not going to hurt. So I could add all the things to this, and I know I've already done that in the pre-mentioned cocktail video.
What if we made a White Russian Mead?
But like then there's all these other things I could add to it, and it's just like, oh, well, what pairs with coffee? All the things, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Right? So that makes me really excited, and even though this might be a little too oomphy for me on its own, it's still super fantastic for me to use as a base with that super oomphiness to add something less oomphy too.
Basically, we're both saying that this is a huge success. We just would appreciate it in different ways.
Yeah.
I would put this in a mug over ice and just enjoy the crap out of it while it lasted. I'd probably finish the whole bottle before I knew it. She'll wanted to use it as a mixer, and that's cool. That's part of making your own stuff for your own enjoyment. If you can enjoy it however you want it, what's wrong with that? I mean, you put it on ice, you have it cold, you have it warm, you make a toddy out of it. I don't care. As long as you enjoy it, you're doing it right. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.